What's going on, everyone? My name is Samuel Richardson. I am your host, and welcome to the Affirmative Talk Show. First and foremost, I want to read out the disclaimer. Some videos and some information I'm going to share with you is not personally my own, but I'm going to be using it under the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 for fair use for research and news reporting. So let's get right into the topic of conversation. What I want to talk about is it was a tough loss for the Lakers on yesterday, on last night. It was a very tough loss. And what I'm going to play is a recap of the game. Donovan Mitchell put on a show, man. He really did. He put on a show. He came ready to play. And it just lets you know that the Lakers still have a lot to do. And I'm just going to share my screen right here for 1 second. If you don't mind, give me a moment. Here we go. And this is going to be a recap of last night on how Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Lakers. It was a tough watching that game too as well. Anthony Davis, he was sick, man. He started off playing a little bit, probably about 6 to 8 minutes, and then he left. Let me say this, man. Let me say this. And I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You see the talent that Anthony Davis has if he plays like that consistently. The problem is that something always seems to come up with Anthony Davis, whether it's with his back, whether it's with his knee, whether it's with his shoulder, and even with he's sick. And the reason why, I know some people are going to say that I'm bashing him and whatever, something like that, but he needs to be challenged. In order to be great, you got to show up consistently. And there are a lot of great players. There's a difference to being a great player and a superstar player and potential superstar player. Yes, somebody said on Life Allah, he has said that Anthony Davis played better with Russ than LeBron. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this. Um, I'm not gonna agree. I'm not gonna disagree with you. I'm not gonna disagree with you. And that's a good point. And that's you're someone that really watched the game. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. I was gonna elaborate on that with LeBron James. One thing that pissed me off in the very first 4 minutes of that game last night is that they wasn't feeding Anthony Davis. They wasn't feeding Anthony Davis. If you had Anthony Davis, who has been on a tear of 49, 50 points per game in the last 3 to 4 games, right? Your focal point needs to be Anthony Davis. And I'm going to tell you something, man. LeBron James is not the same player that he used to be. He is a terrible, terrible jump shot shooter. And he moves very kind of like slow, man. He moves like an old man. And yes, he moves like he's 39 years old. I'm just telling you, I'm just keeping it real. He moves like he's 39 years old. But I want to get back on the topic of Anthony Davis. Is that in order for Anthony Davis, if he wants to be known as a great player, you have to play through sickness. You have to play through sickness. For me, and I know some people may disagree with what I'm saying, but I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm going to keep it real. For me, Anthony Davis needs to play through sick. You have to. There's no reason with the technology that they have, they can give you fluids and stuff during the game. You can go back to the locker room, get fluids into you, make sure that you stay hydrated and all that good stuff. But you have to play through sickness, man. Unless you was injured, an injury, and you are injured, I can see you not playing. But for you to say that you have flu-like symptoms, and you mean to tell me that you can't play? Come on, man. I've played games and I played on the collegiate level, and I know it's not the professional level, but at the same token, I can give you several players who have played through during sickness. And I know people are going to bash me when I say this, but Michael Jordan has played, I think, 9 or 10 seasons. He has played a full 82 game season. And then the other 2 seasons, he has played like 80 games one season. And then another one, he was like 81. So he missed one game. So potentially, I'm telling you about 10 to 12 seasons out of 15 seasons, Michael Jordan has played full seasons. And you don't think he was sick? You don't think that he had flu-like symptoms? Let me tell you something, man. These players today's players are prima donna. particularly your superstar players as well. They are prima donnas, and when something is ailing them like a sickness, they feel, oh, okay, I don't have to show up to wake, show up to work. You know what I'm saying? A player like that, I'm sick. I got these flu-like symptoms. I tried to play, I couldn't, so I quit. I just don't like that, and that's just me personally. So let's get back to the game recap real quick. All righty, that's AD. That's LeBron James. Let's see what we got right here. I like the point guard for Cleveland. That dude is good. That dude is good. Garland. Garland is a good player. And there you go Anthony Davis. He leaving. He leaving. Here we go. Donovan Mitchell is nasty, man. Look at that. They big man. I like the big man too. The big man with the fro right there. He is good. Okay. And the game fairly for the most part was a close game. But they could not stop Donovan Mitchell. This dude was going in the paint and doing whatever he wanted to do every single time. Look at that. Look at the defense, man. Come on, man. You know that guy's a killer. I still don't like LeBron hitting shooting those threes like that, especially coming off a pick and roll. I just don't think that's his power of his game. Look at this. Look at this. He just let him go and dunk. That pissed me off when I saw that. Okay. Look at that. Donovan Mitchell. Look at it. Look at that. Man. And it's 95-92 in the fourth quarter, 7 minutes to go. Look at that. Garland. Look at that, man. Look at that. Look, it was a Donovan Mitchell show. Come on, man. And that was the ball game, man. Like, come on, man. At the end of the day, let me tell y'all something, man. Let me see what Life Allah said. Life Allah said that I think this era is more involved with social media. I totally agree with you. He said, like in the 80s and early 90s, there really wasn't no social media. So back then, there was getting more rest than now because of social media all night. Let me just tell you something, man. When I watched that game, I watched that game all the way through. And even though it was a close game, you have to be able to win those games. And to me, the Lakers should have still won that game even when AD is out. But it really shows the lack of intensity for the Lakers. And I'm gonna just tell you this, man. Patrick Beverly, man, this dude can't even buy a jump shot. He can't even buy a jump shot, Patrick Beverly, man. This dude, every time when he's open, he cannot hit no shots. Same thing for Russell Westbrook. And let me tell you something. I like Russell Westbrook. Don't get me wrong. Russell Westbrook coming off the bench is a good thing. And he shows up every night. Yeah, that's right. The Lakers slacks on defense towards the end of the game. That's what it was. Their attention to detail. If you know Donovan Mitchell, they're going to do a pick and roll, and he can even because he's fast enough to be very elusive with the basketball. You have to understand the assignment on Donovan Mitchell. You have to get the ball out of his head and don't allow him to beat you. Because if you foul him, he's already a great free throw shooter. So you have to understand it's X's and O's, man. And when I look at that game, man, I just seen it was very methodical. They was just going through the motions. And man, really, man, that last 6 minutes, 5 minutes of the ball game, and they just like they gave up and they let Donovan Mitchell do whatever he wanted to do. And you're not gonna win doing that. And then I see that LeBron James is going to be out because of left ankle soreness. Anthony Davis is not going to play. I'm just sitting here like, man, damn, man. Really? 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 You're not going to play? Really? Really? So for me, that's where I'm getting at with it. So let me just read this article by the NBA.com and basically what they're saying. Um, Anthony Davis, he has that illness, so he's not going to play against Toronto. Life, you said that Russell Westbrook needs more minutes. I will say this. I will say this. I would not disagree with you on that. I would not just let me tell you why I like Russell Westbrook. Now, I think for a lot of people, for me personally, the problem that I have with Russell Westbrook is that he just can't hit shots, jump shots. But with that being said, Russell Westbrook tenacity and his intensity to be able to show up night in and night out and be available to play is by far one of the best of all time. He has the same mindset as Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. They're going to show up even when they're sick. They're going to show up even if they're hurt. I'm quite sure Russell Westbrook that has some type of ankle issues, fingers issue, because he keep those fingers taped up, all that type of stuff. But he shows up and he plays. When Russ is in his zone, he is tough. He just needs to pace himself and maybe he will hit more. I totally agree. I don't know what it is about it for me for Russell Westbrook, but it appears to me is that he goes too fast. Like this dude is like a speeding bullet. Like he gets so, you know how when a kid gets so happy when you're around candy and you just want to eat all the candy and never want to slow it down. That's what I feel with Russell Westbrook. Every time he gets the ball, he is running down to the other end and he has to pace himself. He has to pick and choose when to speed the game up and when to slow the game down. But with that being said, life Allah, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I like Russell Westbrook. I believe he's a killer. I believe that he is a good player to have on the pick and roll, particularly even when you have Anthony Davis with that pick and roll, and he finds it a point to be able to choose and get Anthony Davis in that pick and roll. But what things that gets me with Anthony Davis just seemed like he just nonchalant with it, man. Give me some enthusiasm, man. John Morant. John Morant is a younger Westbrook. Yeah, without a doubt, man. Russell Westbrook athleticism is off the charts, man. But y'all tell me what are y'all thoughts on Anthony Davis, man? Because to me, I wasn't getting all up in the uproar because he was doing all these points and rebounding. That's what he's supposed to do. That's what he's supposed to do. I don't get all excited about that. If Anthony Davis, I've said this and I'm gonna keep saying it. Anthony Davis supposed to play like that all the time. This dude is a 7-footer, has handles, can shoot from the mid-range, but to me, he shoots too many threes. If he gets down here his sweet spots, man, it's hard to stop Anthony Davis, man. But to me, I think it is his physical body and his mental. Man, let me tell you something, man. AD need to hit the gym more. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. That's what he was supposed to do in the offseason. But I think is his lack of awareness and intensity. Let me tell you something, man. To be able to be consistent, it's not just physical, but it's mental as well. You have to be able to play sometimes, even when you're not feeling good. You have to be able to have that type of mindset, that type of attitude. I remember I was watching an interview with Kevin Garnett, and I posted it on my YouTube page. And Kevin Garnett's mindset was like, guess what? They pay me to play 82 games, and his intensity. I want to be able to play when I'm hurt because that shows the type of moxie that I have as me as an individual, how much I'm willing to push myself, how much I'm able to play when I'm hurt. Because I have people that paid their hard-earned money to see me. This is the same mentality of Kobe Bryant, same mentality of Michael Jordan, but just to be great, you have to have that type of mindset and ability to show up night in and night out. And I totally agree. Said teach him to play in the post. He don't have the right coaches around him. Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something on this. But let me say this with that. He has the offseason. Akeem Olajuwon, this is what Akeem Olajuwon does all in the offseason, where players seek him out and teach him how to do post move. So it's no excuse that Anthony Davis, in this point of his career, don't have any post move. I think it's a lack of desire. I think it's that type of attitude. He thinks in his head he doesn't need nobody to show him any post moves because he got all the tools and resources. I think that's, to me, I think that's his problem. And he does not, he has a little bit of a post game, but to me, he don't even have that mindset to be able to stay in the post. Because remember, back, early in the season last year, he was mad because he don't want to play the 5. He does not want to play the 5. He wants to play the 4. He wants to be outside and shooting jumpers the whole game and not really bang down in the post. He does not want that. He ain't all about that banging. He ain't all about getting those rebounds and stuff. He want to pick and chooses when to do those things during the game. But I think that's part of the problem. But let me tell you, I think what's probably the Lakers' problem is they should have signed Dwight Howard. I'm going to keep it a buck. Yeah, everybody wants to shoot threes, of course. But that's the problem. That's part of the problem. When you're not able to shoot threes and that should not be your game, your ass need to be down the block. But let me tell you this about him. I feel the Lakers should have signed Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was a key. He was an intricate part in the big man that showed up night in and night out and was consistent, does the dirty work, does the pick and rolls, gets the defensive rebounds, blocks some shots, and he can score off the getting the rebounds. He was a physical presence in the paint. So for them to me, Dwight Howard is better than Thomas Bryant. Now, don't get me wrong. Thomas Bryant, it hustles. Now, he's good. But you can't tell me he's better than Dwight Howard. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100. And Dwight Howard's going to demand respect from his teammates. So for whatever reason, Dwight Howard shouldn't be playing over in Taiwan. Dwight Howard should be playing in the NBA. So as you can see right here, Anthony Davis is out. LeBron James both is out. And he's having non-COVID illness for Anthony Davis. So it's just a common cold, man. Let me see. Yes, and a defender. Lakers gave up JaVale McGee. I was just thinking about that. JaVale McGee, come on, man. Come on, man. JaVale McGee, bruh, you listen. If y'all don't know who JaVale McGee is, man, I believe JaVale McGee is playing for the Dallas Mavericks right now. He was another big body that could clog up the paint, that can actually play defense and actually make it hard for point guards like Donovan Mitchell when they do drive the paint to get their shot off. If you look at the Lakers defense right now, they don't have no intimidating presence in the paint. Any good point guard can actually go and get what they want, anything that they want inside the paint. And that's a problem. That's a problem. And that's one of the reasons why they won't win a championship this year, because they lack that defensive intensity. They don't have that big man who wants to play defense, who's willing to play defense, because at the end of the day, you need that. The Lakers 2020 team is better. Absolutely. 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 I'm telling you, they should have never got rid of Caruso, the white dude, the white boy. They should have never got rid of Caldwell Pope. Let me tell you something, man. The Lakers has had some decent role players, but they have let them go for whatever reason. See, that lets you know, even in upper management, they don't know what the hell they're doing for the Lakers. That's what lets me know that the Lakers don't know what the hell they're doing in upper management. They don't know how to keep the pieces that they had, but they won a championship in 2020 and they blew that team up. They blew that team up. And for what? And for what? Why you blew the team up? So let's get right into finish this article, and that could be for you. It's too much longer. Darvin Ham had even said that his temperature was a 101 and some change. Ham said AD wanted to try to play, but he felt too weak. He's drained and dehydrated, and that was a huge loss. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I done had to go to work, not feeling good. I done had 101 temperature before. There are things that you still have to go and do and grind. And for me, it's a slap in the face for the people, the blue collar workers out there who still have to go and have jobs and they are sick. And you mean to tell me at the age that you have and the nutrition that they have, you mean to tell me you can't play with a common cold? Say that they had younger legs. That Laker team was like the '90s Bull, didn't have a dominant center, but had two main scorers and great role players. That's right. That's right, man. That's right. You have to show up and you have to play, man. You have to show up and you have to play. And for me, with LeBron James with the ankle soreness and stuff like that, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I don't like the players that don't play in games and they know that they're able to play, but they choose not to play. I don't like that mentality. I don't like this mentality with this low management shit. I don't like that. And let me tell you something, man. That's why I've never been eager to watch LeBron James play in person. I'm just gonna keep it honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I'm telling you, man. I seen Michael Jordan play in person, and let me tell you something. That was an amazing experience. And that's something that I wanted to make sure that I was able to do because the way this guy played, 9.99% of the time out of 10, Michael Jordan's going to show up and play. The same for Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant said the same thing. Kobe Bryant said, man, you know what? There's some kid, and if I have a bum ankle, as long as I'm able to wrap it up and have some movement, I'm able to play because I know there's somebody that's out there that want to see me play and seeing me play for the first time. I don't want to disappoint them. And that's the mentality that sickens me. Yes, LeBron James is getting older, but I just feel LeBron James a lot of times he has this mentality, this moxie about himself is that he gonna take games off. LeBron James has that mentality. He has that low management mentality. Is there certain games he's not going to play in? He already has it circled on his calendar. And there's certain times where he feels even a little itch, even if a little ankle itch on his ankle, he ain't going to play. If it feels even a little sore, he ain't going to play. Yeah, Isaiah Thomas continue to play on a broke ankle. Let me tell you something, man. These guys, man, you can't tell them shit. These guys are so soft mentally and physically that if anything that they feel that mess up, they think that they're going to be 100% for a whole season. No player, Michael Jordan even said it, no player is 100%. Every NBA player plays hurt. Every NBA player ankle sore. Every NBA player has a sore shoulder. Every NBA player has like cold flu-like symptoms. But you suck it up and you play. And you're going to find yourself, the moment you keep taking these games off, you're not going to find no continuity. You're not going to even be an example to bring that type of intensity. Is that if players on the bench, if the role players see their best player playing hurt, if the role players see their best player playing even when they're sick, you don't think that type of energy is going to rub off on them? It's all about the example that you set. You get paid these massive contracts to play to win the game. And that's sad. And that's sad to me. So let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all go to my YouTube channel. I'm wearing my Affirmative Talk merch. It's in the caption. You could go to my store. You could purchase your merch out of support for this channel. Do me a favor. You can support the channel by sending me a Cash App as well. I'm gonna put that ticker. It's gonna be showing up on the bottom right there. Also, you can support the channel on Affirmative Talk on YouTube by sending me a super thanks. It's right there on my YouTube channel, even live as we speak. You can go to that heart that has the money sign symbol, and you can hit the super thanks. Also, to support my channel to continue to grow, you can actually join my membership club. I'd love to have you in the membership where we can actually go on and we can go on live and we can speak. You must have your camera on and we can talk about basketball. We could talk about things that's important to you to talk about and go back and forth and feed off each other. So these are the things that I like to talk about. I also like to talk about reality news sometimes that means something to me. But hey, I really appreciate y'all tuning in on the Affirmative Talk Show. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, join the membership, and hit that bell notification so that way you can get notified of new content coming your way. This is your host, Samuel Richardson III. Y'all take care and be safe out there, all right? And always, every single day, make it a point to be the best version of yourself. Peace.
Hey, experience can't be bought. This the energy you want. Yeah, this affirmative talk. Hey, destined for greatness, that's for certain. Time to build your life with purpose. Build your self-esteem and courage. Right now, it's a lifestyle, that's for sure. Good vibes and meditation from a real life coach. Let them know. Affirmations help to make a better you. Got you feeling incredible. Affirmative talk, come on through, let's go.